Every year, hundreds of thousands of storks travel across the Sahara Desert in Africa. They fly up to 60 miles per hour and cover up to 600 miles in a single day. That's the equivalent of flying from London to Warsaw in Poland. But how do they do it? How do they even get there? And why don't they just fly straight? It all starts here in the wetlands around the town of Sevilla in southern Spain. These are the summer homes of Europe's white storks. In spring, when the days are longer and the temperatures are higher, they arrive in their breeding colonies, where they'll spend their summers raising their young. But these storks don't just turn up and start a family. No, they have to get hitched first. Finding a partner is a big deal for these birds. They typically mate for life and will often return to the same nest year after year. The male will court the female with a bow and a high-stepping walk. If she accepts his proposal, they'll seal the deal with a beak and some good old-fashioned stork love. Then it's time to get down to business. They build their nests out of sticks and line them with moss, leaves, and mud. Then the female lays 1 or 2 eggs, which they'll take turns sitting on. Once the chicks hatch, both parents will feed them until they're ready to leave the nest, usually after about 2 months. And that's when the hard work really begins, because the storks need to get to their winter home in sub-Saharan Africa. It's an incredible journey of up to 6,000 miles each way. To put that in perspective, that's like taking a flight from New York to Seattle and back. Twice a year, every year, the storks make this epic migration, crossing the Sahara Desert in the process. But here's the thing. They don't cross the desert in a single day. No, they have to stop and rest. And that's where oases come in. They're like little pockets of water and vegetation scattered throughout the desert. The storks will stop at these oases to refuel and recharge before continuing on their journey. And these oases aren't just natural wonders. They're also home to a bunch of other animals, including gazelles, mongooses, hedgehogs, and snakes. It's kind of like a little oasis within an oasis. And the storks have to be careful not to become prey themselves. Hawks, falcons, and eagles often lurk around these areas, waiting for an easy meal. So the storks have to be on the lookout at all times. But they have some advantages. First off, they're huge. Some species can grow up to 4 feet tall and weigh over 13 pounds. And they're also super strong. They can carry objects almost double their weight. So that means they can carry enough food back to their nests to feed their chicks, even if they have to travel long distances. But perhaps their greatest advantage is their teamwork. The storks often travel in groups, which makes it easier to spot predators and also helps them navigate. When they fly, they take turns leading the way so that everyone can stay together. It's kind of like a relay race, but with birds. After several weeks of traveling, the storks finally reach their winter home in sub-Saharan Africa. Here they'll spend the colder months with other storks from around the world. Some storks travel thousands of miles each year for this annual migration. They're truly amazing creatures. And it's not just the distance they cover that's impressive. It's also the speed. The storks can fly up to 60 miles per hour, which is fast enough to get from Madrid to Paris in less than 3 hours. They cover up to 600 miles in a single day, which is more than most migrating birds can manage. So how do they do it? How do they even get there? Well, it all comes down to preparation. Before they set off from Spain, the storks will spend weeks eating and drinking as much as possible to build up their strength. They also molt their feathers, replacing them with new feathers that are better suited for long-distance flying. Once they're all packed and ready to go, they'll set off in the direction of the sun, following its path across the sky to guide them. Now, you might be wondering why they don't just fly straight. Well, that's because they need to conserve their energy. Flying straight requires more effort, so they fly in rough V formations, taking turns in the lead and drafting behind each other to reduce wind resistance. It's like riding a bike with your friends. You take turns being in the lead, but everyone ends up getting where they need to go a lot faster. These incredible journeys are made possible by the storks' huge wings and lightweight bodies. Their wings are perfectly adapted for soaring, allowing them to ride air currents for hours on end without flapping. And their skeletons are full of holes, making them some of the lightest birds in the world for their size. It's like they're the birds' version of a Formula One car. So there you have it, the incredible migrations of storks. From their daring desert crossings to their perfectly adapted bodies, these birds are truly something else. And who knows, maybe one day you'll witness this amazing sight for yourself.